In today's world, we're all wondering the same thing. How can we get rich and leave our 9 to 5? Well, I'm Matt. Welcome to All Into Nature, and here are 5 plant pollens that could make you a millionaire.
Everyone making money with plants is wasting their time growing bamboo and ginseng. The real fortune is floating in the air right now, and you're probably sneezing at it. Most people think pollen is just the yellow junk that ruins spring, but one of the pollens on this list has been priced at roughly $2 to $3.50 per gram, not per pound, not per bucket, per gram. And that's exactly why this matters, because once you realize certain pollens already have real buyers, you stop looking at plants like decoration and start looking at them like a money making machine. But here's the part nobody tells you: growing or collecting it is only half the game. The real question is who's buying it, where do you sell it, and which of these pollens can a regular person actually produce without needing a giant commercial farm. So stay with me till the end, because I'm going to show you 5 real pollens with real value, and at the end I'll show you the one that has the most shocking price signal of the bunch, plus the smartest way someone would actually try to sell pollen in the real world instead of just ending up with a jar of yellow dust and no buyer. Let's start with number 5, Cattail Pollen. If you've ever walked near a marsh, a retention pond, or a slow moving creek in early summer, you've probably walked right past thousands of dollars sitting in the mud. For a very short window, usually just 2 to 3 weeks every year, the spike on top of the male flower heads produces massive amounts of bright yellow pollen. And here's the detail that creates the entire market: it's completely edible. And although cattails are a great apocalyptic survival food, that's not where the value is. In the high-end specialty food world, cattail pollen acts as a wild-crafted flower extender and a natural colorant. You can fold it into artisan pancake batter, bake it into rustic breads, or mix it into pastries. It adds this unique, slightly nutty sweetness and turns the food a vivid, brilliant gold that you simply can't replicate with artificial dyes or even expensive saffron. But what is it actually worth? If you look at specialty foraging supply sites or artisan food marketplaces, dried, sifted cattail pollen regularly sells for $10 to $15 per ounce. If you do the math, that's roughly $160 to $240 per pound. The harvesting process is surprisingly easy, which is exactly why the profit margin is so high. So here's how to harvest it. You wait for a dry, perfectly still morning. You take a large paper bag, bend the cattail head into it, and give it a firm tap. The pollen falls right off in heavy yellow clouds, and you can collect a pound of this stuff in just a few hours if you're standing in a dense wetland. Once you get it home, you sift it through a fine mesh strainer to remove the fluff and bugs, spread it on a tray to dry completely so it doesn't mold, and jar it. But you want to make sure you're not collecting from places with toxic chemicals or runoff in the water supply, and also it's better to find it in a place where the water is running, because cattails can collect heavy toxins from the soil and the environment. So, your buyer's market here are typically farm to table restaurants, high end bakeries, and farmers market crowds. These buyers aren't just paying for the powder, they're paying for the narrative. An executive chef wants to put wild foraged wetland cattail on their menu because it allows them to charge a premium for the final dish. You are supplying that story. You walk into the back door of a local high end restaurant with the free sample jar, let the chef play with it in the kitchen, and you've got a customer for the entire season. Number 4 might be the most popular pollen on this list right now. It's bee collected flower pollen. And this one is brilliant because you aren't even the one doing the harvesting. You're letting an army of tens of thousands of insects do the heavy lifting for you. When bees go out foraging, they pack pollen into tiny compressed pellets on their hind legs to carry back to the hive. Beekeepers can actually intercept a portion of that haul using something called a pollen trap. It's a simple specialized screen fitted at the hive entrance. As the bees squeeze through the holes to get inside, the screen gently knocks the pollen pellets off their legs and the granules fall into a collection drawer underneath. The bees are totally unharmed, and the hive keeps thriving because they always bring back way more than they need, and you end up with a highly concentrated, multicolored mix of local wildflower pollen. So let's talk some money numbers. If you sell raw bee pollen in bulk to a massive wholesaler, you might only get $15 to $25 a pound. But that is the absolute wrong way to sell it if you want to make real money. If you dry it out properly, package it in a clean, aesthetic 4 to 8 ounce glass jar, and sell it directly to customers, you're suddenly looking at $10 to $15 per small jar, which pushes your retail value closer to $40 to $60 a pound. A strong hive can easily produce a spare half pound of pollen a week during a heavy spring bloom without hurting the colony at all. Multiply that by 10 hives and the math gets very interesting. The reason this is such a powerful secondary income stream is that the infrastructure already exists. You don't have to spend a dime educating the consumer on why they should eat it. The holistic wellness industry already has done that marketing for you. Its rising popularity today means that people know it's packed with complete proteins, amino acids, and local allergy-fighting properties. You're stepping into a market with built-in massive demand. It just has to be perfectly clean and properly dehydrated, because the slightest bit of moisture will turn your premium product into a fermented, moldy mess before you can even ship it. And by the way, if you think getting bees to do your work is a smart economic play, just wait until you see the absolute necessity of number 1. Number 3 is actually the most common pollen on this entire list, and you've probably walked past it at least once in your life, if not every single day. This is pine tree pollen, and to understand this one, you have to completely shift how you look at value and scale. Pine trees produce pollen in absurd, almost comical quantities. If you've ever parked near a pine stand in the spring, you've come back to a car completely coated in that annoying yellow dust. So the obvious reaction is, how can something that common, that literally covers the pavement, be worth a single dime? The answer is in the processing and the target demographic. Raw pine pollen blowing in the wind is completely worthless, but pine pollen that has been collected straight from the male catkins, professionally dried and kept sterile, is a massive player in the natural supplement industry. Pine pollen is highly sought after because it contains naturally occurring phytoandrogens. Essentially, they're plant-based compounds that mimic testosterone. The human optimization, ancestral health, and natural bodybuilding crowds go absolutely crazy for it. Because of this intense demand, a tiny 50-gram pouch of wild harvested pine pollen powder can easily sell for $15 to $30 online. Do the conversion, and that means a high-quality, perfectly processed batch is commanding anywhere from $130 to over $250 a pound. So you're probably wondering, why doesn't everybody just sweep their driveway and sell it in a jar? Here's what makes it a little tricky. It's the harvest method and the processing. You have to snap off the male pine cones right before they open, dry them indoors over giant screens, and let the pure pollen drop through. And to fetch the absolute highest price, the pollen has to go through a process called cell wall cracking. The microscopic shell of pine pollen is notoriously tough, so supplement companies use specialized airflow equipment to crack those shells, making the nutrients easily digestible for humans. If you can master the clean collection and processing of this incredibly abundant resource, you're tapping straight into a multi-million-dollar health industry. Number 2 is pretty special because if you're a gardener, this is a plant that can easily be grown in your garden, and there's even a wild version that typically grows along roadsides and across almost the entire US. This is fennel pollen. This isn't the kind of stuff you find in the bulk spice aisle at the grocery store. This is known in the restaurant industry as culinary fairy dust. It's collected at the exact moment the wild or cultivated fennel flowers open. The flavor profile is incredibly concentrated. It's deeply floral, sweet, and anise forward in a way that regular dried fennel seeds could never even hope to compete with. And if you're not familiar with what fennel is, it's basically the signature spice flavor found in pork sausage. And because the pollen flavor is even more intense than what you find in pork sausage, chefs typically use it strictly as a finishing element right before a plate leaves the kitchen. A tiny pinch over roasted pork, high-end seafood, or artisan pasta completely transforms the dish. You're basically buying intense culinary power, not volume. And that's exactly why the price tag is so high. Fennel pollen is routinely sold for $20 to $30 an ounce retail. If you're selling wholesale to high-end restaurant suppliers, it commands anywhere from $300 to $500 a pound. So that might make you wonder, well, why is it so expensive? It's because the harvesting is heavily manual and quite tedious. You have to go out into the field, cut the flower umbels right at their peak, carefully dry them in paper bags in a climate-controlled room, and gently tap them to release the microscopic pollen before sifting it multiple times. It is hard, slow work, and I know you might want whatever's easiest, but that's not always where the money lies. And if you have the patience and you're willing to knock on the back doors of fine dining restaurants to hand out free samples to executive chefs, you can build a wildly profitable micro business out of a plant that grows like a weed. And now, the one you've been waiting for. This number one pollen might be the one that helps you buy your second home in the Maldives. Here's what makes this pollen a lot different than everything else I've told you about. Cattail is a culinary novelty. Bee pollen is a health food. Pine is a supplement. Fennel is a chef's secret. But kiwi fruit pollen, it's a non-negotiable, high-stakes agricultural input. Here's what makes this pollen a necessity. Kiwi vines don't self-pollinate. The species is dioecious, meaning you have distinct male vines and you have distinct female vines. The males produce the pollen, but they produce exactly zero fruit. So, if you're a commercial grower, every single square foot of land taken up by a male vine is land that isn't producing a crop you can sell. To maximize their acreage and their profits, modern growers plant significantly fewer males. To make up the difference, they buy concentrated, pure, lab-tested kiwi fruit pollen and apply it artificially to the female flowers. They do this using specialized tractor sprayers, handheld blowers, or even custom agricultural drones that fly over the canopy and dust the entire crop. And here's what makes kiwi pollen more powerful than a 401k. These commercial farmers are willing to pay astronomical prices because this isn't about food trends or wellness fads. It's pure, hard, mathematical production economics. Better, more consistent pollination guarantees a higher fruit set, larger kiwis, and a massive revenue spike. If a farmer spends $2,000 on premium pollen, it might yield them an extra $15,000 in harvest weight. Because the return on investment is so crystal clear, kiwi fruit pollen prices sit at an unbelievable $2 to $3.50 per gram. For context, there are roughly 453 grams in a single pound. That means this pollen is actively traded and sold in the commercial agricultural sector for $900 to over $1,500 a pound. You aren't selling to 100 people at a farmer's market, you're selling to a single multi-million-dollar agricultural operation whose entire yearly income depends on your product working perfectly during a 3-day bloom window. But let's be real, all of this information is useless if you can't actually move the product. Value without a buyer is just a jar of expensive dust collecting cobwebs in your garage. So here's how to actually sell your plant-based gold powder, and sorry to break it to you, but you're not going to end up on an episode of Pawn Stars. The smartest approach isn't going out, harvesting blindly, and then crossing your fingers hoping someone pays you for it. It's actually finding the buyer first and then working backwards. For cattail and fennel, you network locally with high-end chefs in specialty food markets. For bee and pine pollen, you approach botanical formulators, natural health stores, and raw natural food suppliers. And for kiwi fruit or other high-value agricultural pollens, your buyer is a commercial farming operation looking for a reliable pollination contractor before their season even starts. The concept that runs through all of this is exactly the same. The biggest financial opportunities are usually hiding right in front of us, in the parts of nature most people treat like an annoyance. So before you march outside to quit your day job and become the next Pablo Escobar of plant pollen, I need to know your master plan. Are you sitting on a gold mine of pine dust, or are you about to aggressively interrogate the local bees to fund your early retirement? What's your pollen empire strategy? Let me know in the comments below, and maybe we can make our own cartel. And hey, when you finally buy that mega yacht with flower dust, just remember who gave you the idea.